Get ready, because this one's got a lot of potential. Pokemon Legends Arceus, and yes, that's with a hard K sound, looks great. Unpolished, a little more than a little choppy, but at the moment I'm gonna chalk that up to the game's not being finished. Please don't prove me wrong this time, Game Freak. I honestly never would have thought we'd get any kind of true Pokemon prequel, let alone one that takes place in the Sinnoh region, but I'm actually really glad they're doing this. And giving Arceus, the Pokemon that's supposed to be literally God, its own game, makes perfect sense. The game at the moment looks heavily unpolished though. The edges of characters look like they can saw down a tree, even more so than other Switch titles. The Pokemon move at a really low frame rate in the overworld, things off in the distance have no sort of clarity whatsoever, and some of the shadows are genuinely hideous, not gonna lie. However, it's best not to judge a game too early. This is the first we're seeing of it, so it's possible those things will be improved upon as time goes on. We've got an entire year until the game releases, so I'm willing to give it a little bit of time to improve there. It does feel a bit too Breath of the Wild inspired though. Even the piano in the first part of the trailer sounds like they pulled it straight from Breath of the Wild soundtrack. That shouldn't be a bad thing, but if this game is trying too hard to be another game entirely, that could end up being its downfall. Likewise, I'm kinda worried about what kind of story this game has. Previous titles had a structure. You went and fought some strong trainers, then go fight the evil organization hellbent on causing Armageddon. So what's the plot here? I'm curious to see how they handle that, because generally open world games have never really had a plot that really captured my attention. If the entire game is just running around a big open world throwing wooden balls at things, then I can't see that being too interesting. It does go back to the roots of completing a Pokédex as the primary goal of these games though, so we'll have to see what comes next. Battling does look kinda interesting though. It looks like the trainer is going to be more part of the battle instead of standing 50 feet away from the action, so I'm curious to see how they handle that, or if they do anything with it at all. The UI also isn't obnoxious, but has style to it too. I liked the simplicity of Sword and Shield's UI, but this adds some much needed character to it. The starters are also interesting. There's no new Pokemon here, but now I need to decide which of the two starters that I used in previous games that I want to use in this one. Probably Samurott, if I'm being honest. Overall, there's not really too much to go into detail on here. It is a 2-minute trailer after all, but the gameplay we see here does look promising. I doubt this game is going to have any connectivity to Sword and Shield, but as a game that takes place probably a few hundred years before Diamond and Pearl, that makes more sense than making a modern Diamond and Pearl not have any connectivity with Sword and Shield. This game does look like it has a lot of potential, and I assume we'll get to see more once we get to E3, so I've got that to look forward to now. All in all, I'm just glad to see Sinnoh get something that I can be thoroughly impressed with.